Welcome, weary soul. I know you're here because your mind won't quiet, because worry has been your unwelcome companion today. The what-ifs are swirling, the fears feel so real, and sleep seems impossible when your heart is heavy with concern. Tonight, you're going to experience something different. You're going to hear the ancient words of Isaiah, words that have comforted God's people for thousands of years when they faced uncertainty, when they couldn't see tomorrow clearly, when worry threatened to overwhelm them. These aren't just beautiful verses, they're God's personal messages to your worried heart right now. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel your body beginning to release the tension you've been carrying. Let your shoulders drop, soften your jaw, and know that for the next 2 hours, you don't have to carry those burdens. You can rest. Father, meet us here in this sacred space. Speak to every anxious thought, every worried heart listening tonight. Remind us that we are seen, loved, and held by you. In Jesus' name, Amen. You're feeling lost right now, aren't you? Like you're wandering through a maze of worries with no clear path forward. Every decision feels overwhelming. Every tomorrow feels uncertain. You wonder if anyone truly sees the weight you're carrying, if anyone understands how heavy your heart has become. Listen to what the prophet Isaiah wrote when God's people felt this exact same way. Isaiah 41 verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Do not fear. Do you hear that? Try not to worry or think positive thoughts. Do not fear, because I am with you. Right now, in this moment, as you listen to these words, you are not alone. The God who spoke stars into existence is with you in your worry. He sees every anxious thought, every sleepless night, every moment you felt like the weight was too much to bear. I will strengthen you. Not tomorrow, not when you feel more capable, not when you've figured everything out. I will strengthen you now. The strength isn't something you have to manufacture. It's something He provides. When your own strength fails, when you feel like you can't take another step, His strength carries you. I will help you. Help. Such a simple word, but do you know what it means? It means you don't have to solve everything alone. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be strong enough for every situation. He will help you. Not might help you, not could help you if you're good enough. He will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Picture that for a moment. The hand that formed mountains, that painted sunsets, that holds galaxies in place. That same hand is holding you up right now. When you feel like you're falling, when you feel like everything is crumbling, His hand is underneath you, strong and sure and steady. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed right now, like life has thrown more at you than you can handle. The bills keep coming, the challenges keep mounting, and you wonder if you have what it takes to face another day. Your chest feels tight when you think about tomorrow. Your breathing becomes shallow when you consider all the things that could go wrong. Isaiah 43 verses 1 and 2. But now this is what the Lord says, He who created you, Jacob, He who formed you, Israel. Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. He who created you, before you were born, before your first breath, before your first worry, He knew you. He formed you with intention, with purpose, with love. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are not too much for Him to handle. He created you, and what He creates, He treasures. I have summoned you by name, You are mine. You belong to him. In a world where you might feel forgotten, overlooked, insignificant, you are his. Your name is written on his heart. Your struggles matter to him. Your worries are his concern because you are his beloved child. When you pass through the waters, notice he doesn't say, if you face difficulties. He says when. He knows life will bring challenges. He knows you will face storms. But listen, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. The waters might be deep, they might be turbulent, but they will not drown you because he is there. The rivers might be rushing and wild, but they will not sweep you away because his hand is holding you steady. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The trials you're facing right now, the worries that feel like they're consuming you, they will not destroy you. Yes, you might feel the heat. Yes, you might be uncomfortable. But the flames will not set you ablaze because he is your protection, your shield, your covering. Your mind won't stop, will it? Thoughts are racing. What if this happens? What if that goes wrong? What if I can't handle it? What if? What if? What if? Your chest feels tight. Your breathing is shallow. The fear feels so real, so immediate, so overwhelming that it's hard to think about anything else. Jesus knew you would feel this way. In Matthew 6:34, he said, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." Each day has enough trouble of its own. Jesus isn't saying your worries aren't real. He sees the weight you're carrying, not just today's troubles, but tomorrow's fears, next week's uncertainties, next month's what-ifs. He understands that your mind wants to solve every potential problem, plan for every possible disaster, prepare for every conceivable difficulty. But he's gently saying, you don't have to carry tomorrow's burdens today. Today has its own challenges, its own needs, its own grace. Tomorrow will have its own grace too. You don't need to borrow trouble from the future. You don't need to solve problems that haven't happened yet. You don't need to be strong enough today for whatever might come next week. Each day, this day, has enough for you to handle. And here's the beautiful thing. You've handled every difficult day so far. Every hard thing you've faced, every challenge that felt impossible, every moment when you thought you couldn't go on, you made it through. Not because you were so strong, not because you had all the answers, but because God's grace met you in each moment. Your heart feels broken right now, doesn't it? The sadness is crushing. The loneliness feels endless, and you wonder if this ache will ever ease. You feel forgotten, abandoned, like even God has turned his back on your pain. The grief is so heavy you can barely breathe, and you wonder if anyone truly sees how much you're hurting. Isaiah 57 verse 15. For this is what the high and exalted one says, he who lives forever, whose name is holy. I live in a high and holy place, but also with the one who is contrite and lowly in spirit, to revive the spirit of the lowly, and to revive the heart of the contrite. The high and exalted one, the God who dwells in majesty, who rules over all creation, who is perfect and holy and powerful beyond our comprehension. He also dwells with the broken-hearted, not above your pain, not distant from your struggle, but with you in it. In your brokenness, in your humility, in your desperate need, that's where he chooses to dwell, to revive the spirit of the lowly and to revive the heart of the contrite. Revive, not just comfort, not just acknowledge, but revive, to bring back to life what feels dead, to restore what feels broken beyond repair, to breathe hope into despair, strength into weakness, life into dead, what feels like death. Your spirit feels crushed right now, but he specializes in revival. Your heart feels shattered, but he is the God who makes all things new. What feels impossible to you is exactly the kind of situation where his power is most evident, where his love shines brightest, where his grace does its most beautiful work. You feel exhausted, don't you? Like you're carrying a backpack full of stones, worry stones, fear stones, responsibility stones, guilt stones. Every step feels harder than the last. Your shoulders ache from the weight. Your back hurts from the burden. You wonder how much longer you can keep going like this. Matthew 11:28 through 30. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Come to me, not get yourself together first, not be stronger, not figure it out. Come as you are, weary, burdened, exhausted, overwhelmed. Come with your messy thoughts and your heavy heart and your tired soul. Come exactly as you are in this moment. I will give you rest. This is a promise. Not I might give you rest if you're good enough. Not I'll give you rest if you work harder. I will give you rest. The rest isn't something you earn. It's something he gives. The rest isn't temporary relief. It's soul-deep restoration. Take my yoke upon you. A yoke connects two animals so they can work together. Jesus is saying, don't carry this alone. Let me carry it with you. Let me take the heavy part. Let me guide the direction. Let me set the pace. You're not in this by yourself anymore, for I am gentle and humble in heart. He's not harsh with your struggles. He's not impatient with your fears. He's not frustrated by your worries. He is gentle, tender with your pain, compassionate with your struggles, kind with your failures. He is humble, not looking down on you from a distance, but walking alongside you in your humanity. You will find rest for your souls. Soul rest. Not just physical rest, though that's important. Not just mental rest, though that's needed. Soul rest, the deep, abiding peace that comes from knowing you're loved, you're safe, you're held, you're home. Your mind is racing right now, isn't it? Even as you try to rest, the thoughts keep coming like an endless parade of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. What if I lose my job? What if something happens to my family? What if I can't pay the bills? What if my health gets worse? What if, what if, what if? The questions multiply faster than you can answer them, each one breeding two more fears. Your chest feels tight, your breathing is shallow, your heart pounds not from excitement, but from the constant state of alert your mind has put your body in. Sleep feels impossible because your brain won't turn off. Even when you're exhausted, even when your body is crying out for rest, your mind keeps churning, keeps planning, keeps worrying. This isn't weakness. This isn't failure. This is what happens to a heart that cares deeply, to a mind that wants to be prepared, to a person who takes their responsibilities seriously. But it's also what happens when we try to carry burdens that were never meant for our shoulders alone. Isaiah 26 verse 3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. Perfect peace. Not temporary calm, not partial relief, not momentary quiet. Perfect peace. Complete, whole, unshakable peace that doesn't depend on circumstances, that doesn't evaporate when difficulties come, that remains steady even in the storm. Those whose minds are steadfast. A steadfast mind isn't a mind that never worries. It's a mind that returns to truth. It's a mind that, when it starts to spiral, redirects itself back to what it knows about God's character. When the what-ifs start multiplying, a steadfast mind says, "But I know God is faithful." When the fears start overwhelming, a steadfast mind remembers, "But I know God is with me," because they trust in you. Trust. The Hebrew word here means to lean on, to rely upon, to feel safe and secure. It's the trust of a child who runs to their parent when they're scared, knowing they'll be protected. It's the trust of someone who has tested God's faithfulness and found it to be true, again and again and again. You're trying to control outcomes you have no power over, aren't you? You're trying to solve problems that haven't happened yet. You're trying to be strong enough for every possible future scenario. But control is an illusion, and the attempt to maintain it is exhausting you. Isaiah 55 verses 8 and 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways and my thoughts than your thoughts. This might initially sound discouraging. His thoughts are beyond your understanding. His ways are higher than your ways. But this is actually the most comforting truth you could hear when you're drowning in worry. Because it means that when you can't figure out the solution, when you can't see the way forward, when your limited perspective shows you only problems, His infinite wisdom sees solutions you can't imagine. Your thoughts are bound by what you know, what you've experienced, what you can see with your limited human perspective. But His thoughts encompass all of time, all possibilities, all the ways He can work that you've never even dreamed of. When you're worried about how something will work out, He already knows 17 different ways He could provide for you. Your ways are limited by your resources, your abilities, your connections, your circumstances. But His ways include resources you don't know exist, abilities you've never witnessed, connections you can't imagine, circumstances He can change with a word. When you're worried about being enough, remember, His ways are higher than your ways. The fear is paralyzing you, isn't it? Fear of the unknown, fear of loss, fear of pain, fear of failure, fear that whispers you're not strong enough, smart enough, prepared enough for whatever's coming. Fear that tells you to expect the worst, because then you won't be disappointed. Fear that keeps you awake at night, playing out disaster scenarios in your mind. Isaiah 41 verse 13. For I am the Lord your God who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you. Picture this for a moment. Your right hand, your strong hand, your working hand, your capable hand, is being held by the Lord your God. Not gripped tightly in a way that hurts, but held gently, firmly, securely. The way a parent holds a child's hand when crossing a busy street. The way a friend holds your hand when you're scared. The way someone who loves you holds your hand to offer comfort and strength. Do not fear, I will help you. These aren't empty words. This is a commitment from the God who has never broken a promise. He's not saying your situation isn't difficult. He's not saying your fears are unreasonable. He's saying that regardless of what you're facing, regardless of how scared you feel, regardless of how impossible things seem, He will help you. Help comes in many forms. Sometimes it's changing your circumstances. Sometimes it's giving you strength to endure them. Sometimes it's providing exactly what you need at exactly the right moment. Sometimes it's sending people to support you. Sometimes it's giving you wisdom to navigate difficult decisions. But help always comes, because He always keeps His word. You're overwhelmed by all the unknowns, aren't you? You want guarantees about the future, certainties about how things will work out, promises that everything will be okay, in the way you define okay. You want a roadmap for the journey ahead, a detailed plan that shows you every step you'll need to take. Isaiah 30 verse 21. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you, saying, this is the way, walk in it. You don't need to see the entire path. You don't need to know how the story ends. You don't need to have all the answers before you take the next step. You just need to be willing to listen for His voice, to trust His guidance, to follow His direction, one step at a time. This is the way, walk in it. Not this might be the way if you're lucky. Not this could be the way if you're good enough. This is the way. He knows the path because he's already walked it. He knows the destination because he's already prepared it. He knows the obstacles because he's already made a way around them. The voice behind you, this suggests that his guidance comes from his faithfulness in your past. When you look back at your life, you can see how he's led you before. The closed doors that led to better opportunities, the difficult seasons that built your character, the moments when you thought you couldn't go on, but somehow you did. His voice reminds you, I've been faithful before, and I'll be faithful again. Your heart feels heavy with the weight of responsibility, doesn't it? You feel like everyone's counting on you, like you can't afford to fail, like any mistake you make will have devastating consequences. You're trying to be everything to everyone, to anticipate every need, to prevent every problem. Isaiah 9 verse 6. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. The government will be on his shoulders, not yours. The ultimate responsibility for how things turn out, for making sure everything works together for good, for ensuring that justice prevails and love wins. That's on his shoulders, not yours. You are not the savior of your family, your workplace, your community, your world. You are not responsible for controlling outcomes you have no power over. You are not supposed to have all the answers, solve all the problems, meet all the needs. The government, the ruling, the directing, the ultimate responsibility is on his shoulders. Wonderful Counselor, when you don't know what to do, he has wisdom beyond your understanding. Mighty God, when you feel weak and inadequate, his strength is limitless. Everlasting Father, when you feel alone and uncared for, his love is constant and eternal. Prince of Peace, when your heart is troubled and your mind is restless, he brings peace that surpasses understanding. You're afraid of not being enough, aren't you? Not smart enough, not strong enough, not talented enough, not prepared enough. You look at the challenges ahead and you see all the ways you might fall short, all the areas where you feel inadequate, all the skills you wish you had but don't. Isaiah 41 verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. You don't have to be enough, because he is more than enough. Your adequacy isn't based on your abilities. It's based on his presence with you. Your strength doesn't come from your own resources. It comes from his unlimited power. Your success isn't dependent on your perfection. It's guaranteed by his faithfulness. I will strengthen you. When you feel weak, he makes you strong, not with artificial energy that burns out, but with divine strength that sustains. When you're facing something that feels bigger than you can handle, his strength flows through you, enabling you to do what you never thought possible. I will help you. You're not in this alone. You don't have to figure everything out by yourself. You don't have to be self-sufficient. Help is available, and it comes from the God who spoke the universe into existence. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Uphold means to support, to sustain, to keep from falling. His righteous right hand, the hand of power, authority, and perfect justice. The hand that never fails, never weakens, never lets go. The financial pressure is crushing, isn't it? The bills keep coming, the expenses keep mounting, and you wonder how you're going to make it all work. You lie awake at night doing math in your head, trying to figure out how to stretch what you have, wondering if you'll have enough. The worry about provision is constant, nagging, exhausting. Isaiah 55, verses 10 and 11. As the rain and the snow come down from heaven, and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater, so is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. God's provision is as reliable as the weather patterns he established. Rain falls, snow melts, earth is watered, crops grow, harvest comes, bread is baked, people are fed. This isn't chance. This is his faithful system of provision that has worked since the beginning of time. His word about providing for you is like that rain and snow. It goes forth from his mouth with purpose and power. It will accomplish what he desires, which is your good, your care, your provision. It will achieve the purpose for which he sent it, which is to meet your needs according to his riches in glory. You don't see how it's going to work out, but that doesn't mean it won't work out. You can't imagine where the provision will come from, but that doesn't mean it won't come. His word has gone forth concerning your care, and it will not return empty. It will accomplish its purpose in your life. You're wondering if things will ever get better, aren't you? If this season of worry and struggle will ever end, if you'll ever feel peace again, ever sleep soundly again, ever wake up without that immediate knot of anxiety in your stomach. The future looks uncertain, maybe even scary, and you can't see how things could possibly work out for good. Listen to this promise God made, not to someone else, but to you. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. I know the plans I have for you. Not vague plans, not maybe plans, not backup plans in case his first choice doesn't work out. Plans. Specific, intentional, carefully designed plans that have your name written all over them. Plans that take into account your personality, your struggles, your dreams, your fears, your unique story. God doesn't plan generically. He doesn't have one-size-fits-all solutions. The plans he has for you are as unique as your fingerprints, as individual as your DNA, as personal as your own heartbeat. What he has planned for your life is something no one else could fulfill, something only you can walk out. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Prosper doesn't just mean financially, though he cares about your material needs. It means to flourish, to thrive, to become everything he created you to be. It means your life will matter, your struggles will have meaning, your story will have purpose, and not to harm you. This doesn't mean you'll never face difficulties. It means that even the difficult things that come your way will ultimately work for your good, not your destruction. Nothing that touches your life can ultimately harm you because you belong to him, and what belongs to him is protected by his love. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hope, not wishful thinking, but confident expectation based on who God is and what he's promised. A future, not just existence, but purpose, meaning, destiny. Your story isn't ending in this dark chapter. This is not where your journey concludes. Life feels chaotic right now, doesn't it? Like pieces of a puzzle scattered across the floor with no picture on the box to guide you. Random things happening that don't seem connected, circumstances that don't make sense, timing that feels all wrong. You wonder if there's any order to the madness, any purpose to the pain. Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. In all things God works, not just in the good things, not just in the easy things, not just in the things that make sense. In all things, the disappointments, the setbacks, the losses, the fears, the worries, he's working in all of it. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is random. Nothing is outside of his ability to use for your ultimate good. for the good of those who love him. The good. Not necessarily what feels good in the moment, but what is truly good for your life, your character, your destiny. Sometimes what's good for us doesn't feel good initially. Sometimes God's goodness looks different than we expected, but his definition of good is always better than ours, because his perspective is so much bigger. Who have been called according to his purpose. You're not here by accident. You're not living a random existence. You've been called, chosen, selected, invited to participate in his purpose. Your life has meaning that goes beyond your current circumstances. Your struggles are serving a purpose you may not see yet, but that doesn't make them meaningless. You feel like you're drowning right now, don't you? Like life has thrown you into deep waters and you're barely keeping your head above the surface. The waves of worry keep crashing over you, and you're exhausted from fighting to stay afloat. You wonder if you're going to make it through this, if you have the strength to keep swimming. Isaiah 43 verse 2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. When you pass through the waters. Notice he doesn't say you'll avoid the waters. He doesn't promise you'll never face deep, turbulent, scary situations. But he does promise that when you face them, and you will face them because that's part of being human, you won't face them alone. I will be with you. In the deepest water, in the scariest moments, in the most overwhelming circumstances, his presence is there, not watching from a distance, not planning to rescue you eventually, but with you in the middle of it, present, active, engaged in your struggle. The rivers will not sweep over you. The current might be strong, the water might be deep, the situation might be overwhelming, but you will not be swept away. You will not be overcome. You will not be lost in the flood. His hand is holding you steady against the current. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The trials you're facing right now feel like fire, don't they? They're hot, they're painful, they're testing everything you thought you knew about yourself and about life. But this promise says the fire will not consume you. Yes, you might feel the heat. Yes, you might be uncomfortable. But you will come out on the other side, and when you do, you'll be refined, not destroyed. You're overwhelmed by the intensity of your pain right now, aren't you? It feels too big, too much, too overwhelming to bear. You wonder if this level of struggle is normal, if other people go through things this hard, if you're just not strong enough to handle what life has handed you. 2 Corinthians 4:17. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. Light and momentary troubles. This might sound insulting to your pain right now. Your troubles don't feel light. They feel crushing. They don't feel momentary. They feel endless. But this verse is written from eternity's perspective, not time's perspective. What feels overwhelming to you right now is being seen by God from the viewpoint of forever. What feels crushing today will feel light when compared to the glory He's preparing for you. What feels endless in this moment is actually momentary when measured against eternity, are achieving for us. Your troubles aren't just happening to you, they're working for you. They're not just random suffering, they're purposeful preparation. Every moment of struggle is achieving something, building something, preparing something in your life that wouldn't be possible any other way. An eternal glory that far outweighs them all. Glory, honor, beauty, magnificence, splendor. The struggles you're facing today are preparing you for a glory so magnificent that when you experience it, you'll understand why the preparation was necessary. The weight of glory will make the weight of current troubles seem light by comparison. You feel like you're failing right now, don't you? Like you've made too many mistakes, taken too many wrong turns, disappointed too many people. You wonder if God is disappointed in you too, if you've somehow disqualified yourself from His love, if you've messed up too badly to be used by Him. Philippians 1 verse 6. Being confident of this, that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. He who began a good work in you. God started something in your life. Not a mediocre work, not a questionable work, not a work that might or might not succeed. A good work. Before you were born, before you took your first breath, before you made your first mistake, He saw something good in you and began working to bring it forth. Will carry it on to completion. Not might carry it on if you're good enough, not could carry it on if you stop messing up. Will carry it on. This is a certainty, a guarantee, a promise you can bank your life on. He doesn't start things, He doesn't finish, until the day of Christ Jesus. This work in your life has an end date, a completion date, a graduation date. He's not going to work on you forever, because eventually the work will be finished. The struggles you're facing now are part of the completion process, not evidence that the work has failed. You're in a dark season right now, aren't you? Everything feels heavy, grey, difficult. Joy seems like a foreign concept. Hope feels naive. You wonder if you'll ever feel light again, if you'll ever laugh again, if this weight will ever lift from your heart. Psalm 30 verse 5. For His anger lasts only a moment, but His favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. Weeping may stay for the night. God acknowledges your weeping. He doesn't minimize it, dismiss it, or rush you through it. Weeping is a natural response to loss, to pain, to disappointment, to fear. The night season of weeping is real, and it's okay. Night can feel long when you're in it. When you're hurting, minutes feel like hours, hours feel like days, days feel like weeks. But night is not permanent. Night is not the end of the story. Night is not your final destination. But rejoicing comes in the morning. This is a promise. Not rejoicing might come if you're lucky. Not rejoicing could come if you work hard enough. Rejoicing comes. It's as certain as sunrise, as reliable as the rotation of the earth, as sure as God's faithfulness. Morning represents new beginnings, fresh starts, hope renewed. The morning that's coming to your life will bring with it a joy that makes the night of weeping worth it. A celebration that transforms your mourning into dancing. A light that makes the darkness seem like preparation rather than punishment. You feel exhausted, don't you? Like you've been running a marathon without ever signing up for the race. Your strength is depleted, your reserves are empty, and you wonder where you're supposed to find the energy to keep going. You feel weak when you need to be strong, tired when you need to be energetic, empty when you need to be full. Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Those who hope in the Lord, hope, not positive thinking, not denial of reality, not pretending everything is fine when it's not. Hope is choosing to believe that God's character is bigger than your circumstances, that His faithfulness is more reliable than your feelings, that His promises are more trustworthy than your fears. Will renew their strength. Renew, not just rested for a moment, but completely restored. Like an old building that's renovated and comes out better than it was originally. Like a forest after a fire that grows back more lush and green than before. The strength that comes through hoping in Him is stronger than your original strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. Eagles don't flap frantically to stay airborne. They spread their wings and let the wind currents carry them. When you hope in the Lord, you stop trying to generate your own strength through your own effort. You spread your wings and let His strength carry you higher than you could ever go on your own. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. This describes sustained strength, enduring power, lasting endurance, not the burst of energy that burns out quickly, but the steady, reliable strength that keeps you going mile after mile, day after day, season after season. Every morning brings new waves of worry, doesn't it? You wake up and before you're fully conscious, your mind is already racing with all the things you need to figure out, all the problems you need to solve, all the ways things could go wrong. The mercy you need feels fresh every morning because the struggles feel fresh every morning. Lamentations 3:22 and 23. Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed. Consumed means completely used up, totally depleted, utterly destroyed. The struggles you're facing right now could consume you. The worry could eat away at your peace, your health, your joy, your relationships. But it won't, because His great love stands between you and consumption. His compassions never fail. Compassion, tender mercy, loving kindness, heart-deep care for your well-being. His compassions are not dependent on your performance. They don't run out when you make mistakes. They don't diminish when you struggle with the same issues repeatedly. They never fail. They are new every morning. Every sunrise brings fresh compassion. Yesterday's mercy was sufficient for yesterday's struggles. But today you need new mercy for today's challenges. And it's there, waiting for you like dew on the grass, like light breaking through the darkness, like breath filling your lungs. Great is your faithfulness. Faithfulness, reliability, consistency, trustworthiness, dependability. His faithfulness doesn't fluctuate with circumstances. It doesn't decrease during difficult seasons. It doesn't waver when you waver. His faithfulness is the steady constant in your ever-changing world. I know it's hard to have faith right now. When you're in this much pain, when nothing makes sense, when the prayers you've prayed seem to bounce off the ceiling, believing feels impossible, doesn't it? You used to trust so easily, used to believe so simply, used to have confidence that everything would work out. But life has worn away at that simple faith, and now you wonder if you're naive to hope, foolish to trust, unrealistic to believe. But listen to what happened when a desperate father brought his son to Jesus. Mark 9:24. Immediately the boy's father exclaimed, "I do believe. Help me overcome my unbelief." Do you hear that? Belief and unbelief in the same breath, faith and doubt living side by side in the same heart. I do believe. There's still something in me that trusts you, that hopes in you, that wants to have faith. Help me overcome my unbelief. But there's also this part of me that struggles, that questions, that fears you're not really there or you don't really care. And Jesus didn't rebuke him. Jesus didn't say, "Come back when you have more faith." Jesus didn't lecture him about doubt. Jesus honored that honest cry and healed his son. Your imperfect faith, your struggling belief, your honest doubt mixed with hope, that's exactly the kind of faith Jesus works with. You don't need perfect faith. You don't need to have all your questions answered. You don't need to feel confident and strong and sure. You just need enough faith to keep talking to him, to keep bringing your struggles to him, to keep asking him to help your unbelief. Faith isn't the absence of doubt. It's choosing to trust God in the presence of doubt. It's saying, "I don't understand what you're doing, but I'm going to keep believing in who you are." It's declaring, "This doesn't feel good, but I'm going to trust that you're still good." It's deciding, I can't see the way forward, but I'm going to keep following you. You need to believe in things you can't see right now, don't you? You need to hope for outcomes you can't guarantee. You need to trust in promises you can't verify with your own eyes. Everything in your current reality argues against hope, against faith, against trusting that things will get better. Hebrews 11 verse 1. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Faith is confidence in what we hope for. Not what we can prove, not what we can control, not what we can figure out, what we hope for. Hope for healing that hasn't come yet. Hope for provision that isn't visible yet. Hope for resolution that hasn't arrived yet. Hope for peace that you can't feel yet. Confidence doesn't mean you feel certain all the time. It means that deep underneath the worry and the fear and the confusion, there's something steady that believes God is who He says He is and will do what He says He'll do. Even when your emotions argue against it, even when your circumstances contradict it, even when your experience makes it hard to believe. Assurance about what we do not see. You can't see how things are going to work out. You can't see where the provision will come from. You can't see how the healing will happen. You can't see how the relationship will be restored. You can't see how the problem will be solved. But faith is assurance about what you do not see. Assurance is deeper than feeling. Assurance is the quiet knowing that exists underneath the storm of emotion. It's the steady conviction that God is working even when you can't see evidence of it. It's the bedrock belief that His love for you is real even when you can't feel it. Your faith feels so weak right now, doesn't it? Like a flickering candle in a strong wind, like a small voice in a loud crowd, like a tiny seed in hard ground. You look at people who seem to have strong, unwavering faith, and you wonder what's wrong with you, why you struggle so much, why believing seems so hard. Romans 10:17. Consequently, faith comes from hearing the message, and the message is heard through the word about Christ. Faith comes from hearing, not from trying harder, not from being stronger, not from being more spiritual, from hearing. Every time you listen to truth about God's character, faith grows a little. Every time you hear about His faithfulness, faith is strengthened. Every time you're reminded of His love, faith takes deeper root. The message, the good news that God loves you, that Christ died for you, that you are forgiven and accepted and cherished exactly as you are, that your struggles don't disqualify you, that your doubts don't disqualify you, that your imperfections don't disqualify you, is heard through the word about Christ. The word, not just the Bible, though that's important. The word is any truth about who Jesus is and what He's done for you. When someone speaks truth over you, when you remember a promise He's made, when you recall a way He's been faithful before, when you choose to focus on His character instead of your circumstances, faith isn't something you manufacture through your own effort. It's something that grows as you expose yourself to truth about who God is. The more you hear about His love, the easier it becomes to believe you're loved. The more you learn about His faithfulness, the more natural it feels to trust Him. You need tangible proof that God is real and that He cares about you, don't you? You wish you could see Him, touch Him, hear His audible voice telling you everything is going to be okay. You want evidence that's more concrete than feelings, more solid than promises, more visible than hope. 2 Corinthians 5:7. For we live by faith, not by sight. We live by faith, not by sight. This doesn't mean what you see isn't real or doesn't matter. It means that what you see isn't the complete picture. Your sight is limited to what's happening right now, in this moment, from your perspective, but faith sees from God's perspective, from eternity's viewpoint, from the vantage point of unlimited power and infinite love. Living by sight means making decisions based only on what you can see, control, and understand. Living by faith means making decisions based on what you know to be true about God's character, even when you can't see how He's working. Right now, your sight shows you problems without solutions, needs without provision, pain without purpose. But faith reminds you that God sees solutions you haven't thought of, provision you don't know exists, purpose you don't yet understand. Living by faith doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means interpreting reality through the lens of God's goodness rather than through the lens of fear. It means choosing to believe that the God who has been faithful before will be faithful again, even when you can't see evidence of His activity. Your faith feels insufficient for what you're facing, doesn't it? Like bringing a water gun to a firefight, like using a band-aid for major surgery, like trying to light up a stadium with a birthday candle. The size of your problems makes your faith feel tiny and inadequate. Matthew 17:20. Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Faith as small as a mustard seed. A mustard seed is tiny, one of the smallest seeds you can see with the naked eye. Jesus isn't asking for giant faith. He's not expecting you to feel confident and strong and unwavering. He's saying that even the smallest amount of real faith is powerful enough to move mountains. The mountain you're facing right now, this overwhelming situation, this impossible problem, this immovable obstacle, it looks so much bigger than your faith. But the size of your faith isn't what matters. What matters is that your small faith is connected to an infinite God. A mustard seed doesn't move mountains through its own power. It moves mountains because it's planted in soil that's connected to the Earth's resources, to underground water systems, to networks of nutrients that the tiny seed could never access on its own. Your small faith is connected to God's unlimited power. Nothing will be impossible for you. Not because you're so strong, not because your faith is so great, but because your small faith is connected to the God for whom nothing is impossible. The impossibility you're facing right now is just a platform for God to demonstrate His power through your willing, if weak, faith. You wonder if other people have struggled with faith the way you're struggling, don't you? You look around and it seems like everyone else has it figured out, like everyone else trusts easily, like everyone else believes without question. You feel alone in your doubts, isolated in your struggles, different in your need for reassurance. Hebrews 11, the entire chapter, tells story after story of people who lived by faith. But if you read carefully, you'll see that their faith wasn't perfect either. Abraham lied about his wife because he was afraid. Moses hesitated to obey God's call because he didn't feel qualified. David hid in caves and wrote songs about feeling forgotten by God. Yet they're all listed in the Hall of Faith. What made them people of faith wasn't their lack of struggle. What made them people of faith was their willingness to keep trusting God in the middle of their struggles. They didn't have perfect confidence. They had persistent hope. They didn't have unwavering certainty. They had determined choice to keep believing even when it was hard. You're in good company when you struggle with faith. The people who have been used most powerfully by God have been people who wrestled with doubt, who asked hard questions, who had to choose trust over and over again. Your struggle with faith doesn't disqualify you. It qualifies you to understand His grace in a deeper way. You're waiting for promises that haven't been fulfilled yet, aren't you? Waiting for healing that hasn't come, provision that hasn't arrived, restoration that hasn't happened, breakthrough that hasn't occurred. The waiting is wearing you down, and you wonder if you misunderstood what God was telling you, if you're being naive to keep hoping. Romans 4:20 and 21. Yet he did not waver through unbelief regarding the promise of God, but was strengthened in his faith and gave glory to God, being fully persuaded that God had power to do what he had promised. This is talking about Abraham, who waited 25 years for the promise of a son to be fulfilled. 25 years of hoping, waiting, wondering if he'd heard God correctly. 25 years of watching his body get older, his wife get older, the natural possibility get smaller and smaller. He did not waver through unbelief. This doesn't mean he never had moments of doubt. It means that his overall trajectory was toward faith, not away from it. Even when he had questions, even when circumstances looked impossible, even when time kept passing without fulfillment, his general direction was toward trusting God more, not less, but was strengthened in his faith. The waiting didn't weaken his faith, it strengthened it. Every month that passed without the fulfillment of the promise was another opportunity to choose trust. Every year that his circumstances looked more impossible was another chance to believe that God's power was bigger than natural limitations, being fully persuaded that God had power to do what he had promised. Fully persuaded, completely convinced, totally confident, utterly certain, not certain about the timing, not certain about the method, but certain about God's power and God's faithfulness. You feel forgotten by God sometimes, don't you? Like he's answering everyone else's prayers but not yours. Like he's helping everyone else but passing you by. Like he's forgotten about you in your pain. You wonder if you've done something wrong, if you're not praying hard enough, if you don't have enough faith. Psalm 13, 1-5. How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Look on me and answer, Lord my God, give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death, or my enemies will say, we have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. How long, Lord? This is an honest question from someone who was struggling with the same feelings you're struggling with. David felt forgotten too. He felt like God was hiding from him too. He wrestled with his thoughts day after day too. He wondered how long the difficulty would last too. Will you forget me forever? God never rebuked David for asking this question. God never told him his faith was too weak. God never said he was wrong to wonder. Sometimes faith sounds like desperate questions rather than confident declarations. But I trust in your unfailing love. After all the questions, after all the struggle, after all the wrestling, faith makes a choice. Not because feelings have changed, not because circumstances have improved, but because God's character is trustworthy regardless of how things appear. My heart rejoices in your salvation, rejoicing not because the problem is solved, but because the Saviour is faithful. Joy not because the situation has changed, but because the God who saves is still on the throne. Faith celebrates God's character even while waiting for God's action. Your mind has been racing all day, hasn't it? Even now, trying to rest, thoughts keep coming like an endless parade of concerns and worries and what-ifs. Your brain feels like it's stuck in a loop, replaying the same fears over and over, trying to solve problems that haven't happened yet, preparing for scenarios that may never come to pass. Jesus spoke about this kind of exhaustion when he said, Matthew 11:28, Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Come as you are, weary from the weight of worry, burdened by the pressure of trying to control outcomes you have no power over, exhausted from the mental marathon your mind has been running. You don't have to clean up your thoughts first. You don't have to organize your concerns first. You don't have to have your life together first. Come with your messy mind and your heavy heart and your tired soul. Come exactly as you are in this moment, and let Him give you the rest your spirit has been craving. Not just physical rest, though that's important too, soul rest. The kind of rest that reaches down into the deepest parts of who you are and says, you can stop striving now. You can stop trying to figure it all out. You can rest. Let your breathing begin to slow. Feel the weight of your body sinking into whatever is supporting you. Notice how your muscles are starting to release the tension they've been carrying. Anxiety has been your unwelcome companion today, hasn't it? That tight feeling in your chest, flutter in your stomach, that sense that something terrible is about to happen, even though you can't name what it is. You've been living in a state of high alert, scanning for danger, preparing for disaster, bracing for impact. But listen to what Paul wrote when he was facing his own overwhelming circumstances. Philippians 4, 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Do not be anxious about anything. This isn't a command meant to make you feel guilty about your worry. It's an invitation to a different way of living. Instead of carrying the weight of anxiety, you can transfer that weight to God through prayer in every situation. The situation you're facing right now, the one that's been keeping you awake at night, the one that makes your heart race when you think about it, that situation is included in every situation. No concern is too small for His attention, no problem too big for His power. Present your requests to God, like a child bringing their broken toy to a parent, like a student bringing a difficult problem to a teacher, like someone lost asking for directions. Bring your worries to the one who has answers, who has power, who has love beyond measure, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. Guard like a sentinel, like a bodyguard, like a fortress wall. This peace doesn't make sense to your rational mind because it exists independently of your circumstances. It comes not from having all the answers, but from knowing the one who does. Feel that peace beginning to settle over you now, like a warm blanket on a cold night, like gentle waves washing over your soul. Peace that doesn't depend on tomorrow being easier. Peace that exists right here, right now, in this moment. Your heart feels troubled, doesn't it? Like a storm is raging inside your chest, like turbulent waters that won't be still. The troubles of this world have stirred up everything that was once calm in your life, and you wonder if you'll ever feel steady again, ever feel at peace again. Jesus knew you would feel this way. The night before He went to the cross, when His own heart was heavy with what was coming, He spoke these words to His disciples. John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Peace I leave with you. Not temporary calm that disappears when difficulties come, not fragile tranquility that shatters at the first sign of trouble. Peace, His peace, the peace that sustained Him through every storm, every opposition, every moment of uncertainty. My peace I give you. This is a gift, not something you earn through good behavior or achieve through right thinking. A gift that's already been purchased, already been wrapped, already been delivered. You don't have to be worthy of it. You just have to receive it. I do not give to you as the world gives. The world gives conditionally. The world gives temporarily. The world gives only when circumstances are favorable. But Jesus gives unconditionally, eternally, regardless of what's happening around you. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. He's not saying your heart won't experience trouble or that fear won't come knocking at your door. He's saying you don't have to let trouble take up residence in your heart. You don't have to let fear become your constant companion. Let your heart receive his peace now. Feel it flowing into the troubled places. Feel it calming the stormy waters. Feel it stilling the anxious thoughts. You can rest in this peace. You can trust this peace. This peace is yours. You can't seem to feel safe enough to sleep, can you? Your body is tired, but your mind won't turn off because some part of you believes that staying alert will somehow protect you from whatever you're afraid might happen. You feel like you need to stay vigilant, stay prepared, stay ready for whatever might come. But David, who knew what it was like to have real enemies, who faced real danger, who had legitimate reasons to stay awake and alert, wrote these words. Psalm 4:8. In peace I will lie down and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. In peace I will lie down and sleep. Not, I hope I can sleep, or maybe I'll be able to rest. I will lie down and sleep. This is a declaration, a decision, a choice to trust that God's protection is more reliable than his own vigilance. David could sleep in peace, not because his circumstances were safe, but because he knew that God was watching while he rested. He could close his eyes, not because there was no danger, but because he trusted that God's eyes never close. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Safety doesn't come from having all the answers, knowing all the outcomes, or controlling all the variables. Safety comes from dwelling in the presence of the one who knows all, sees all, and controls all. You alone. Not your planning plus God's help. Not your worry plus God's protection. You alone, Lord. The safety you've been trying to create through mental preparation and emotional vigilance. That safety comes from God alone. Feel that safety surrounding you now, like strong arms holding you, like a fortress around you, like a shelter in the storm. You are safe in his presence. You can close your eyes. You can let down your guard. You can rest. Your thoughts won't stop racing, will they? Round and round they go, like a carousel that won't slow down, like a record that keeps skipping, like a movie that plays the same scene over and over. You wish there was an off switch for your mind, the way to quiet the constant chatter, a way to find stillness in the storm of thinking. Isaiah 26:3 gives us the secret to mental peace. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. Perfect peace, complete peace, unbroken peace, peace that doesn't fluctuate with circumstances, peace that doesn't depend on having everything figured out, peace that exists even in the middle of uncertainty. Those whose minds are steadfast. A steadfast mind isn't a mind that never worries. It's a mind that returns to truth. When worry comes, it remembers God's faithfulness. When fear whispers, it recalls God's promises. When anxiety rises, it chooses to focus on God's character. Because they trust in you. Trust is a choice you make with your mind. Trust is a decision you make with your will. Trust is saying, I don't understand what you're doing, but I believe in who you are. Trust is releasing control and resting in his care. Let your mind become steadfast now. Let it settle on the truth of his love for you. Let it rest in the reality of his presence with you. Feel your thoughts beginning to slow. Feel the racing beginning to calm. Feel the peace settling over your mind like fresh snow. You've been striving so hard, haven't you? Working and planning and trying to make everything turn out right. You've been carrying responsibilities that were never meant for your shoulders, solving problems that aren't yours to solve, controlling outcomes that are beyond your power to control. Psalm 127:2 speaks to this kind of exhaustion. In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to those he loves. In vain you rise early and stay up late. All that extra effort, all that additional worry, all that mental toiling, it's not producing the results you're hoping for. The harder you try to control everything, the more exhausted you become. The more you strive, the less peace you experience. Toiling for food to eat, toiling for security, for certainty, for guarantees that tomorrow will be okay. Working so hard to create the safety and provision that only God can truly give. Exhausting yourself trying to be enough, do enough, control enough to ensure good outcomes. For he grants sleep to those he loves. Sleep is a gift. Rest is grace. Peace is something he gives, not something you achieve. You don't have to earn the right to rest. You don't have to solve everything before you can sleep. You don't have to have it all figured out before you can be at peace. Those he loves, that's you. You are loved with an everlasting love. You are cherished with an unfailing affection. You are held with an unbreakable grip. And because you are loved, you are granted sleep. You are given rest. You are blessed with peace. Let yourself receive that gift now. Feel the striving melting away. Feel the need to control everything dissolving. Feel your body sinking deeper into rest. You don't have to hold everything together. You can let him be God while you rest. The quiet waters are calling to you now, like a gentle stream flowing through a peaceful meadow, like a still pond reflecting the sky, like calm seas after a storm. Your soul is being led to these quiet waters where you can drink deeply of peace, where you can rest completely in safety. Psalm 23, 2 and 3. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He makes me lie down. Sometimes we need to be made to rest because we've forgotten how. Sometimes we need permission to stop striving because we've been trying so hard for so long. Sometimes we need to be led to stillness because we've lost our way to peace. In green pastures, soft and comfortable and nourishing, a place of abundance, not scarcity, a place of plenty, not need, a place where you can finally exhale, finally relax, finally let your guard down. He leads me beside quiet waters, not rushing rivers that demand your attention, not crashing waves that create chaos, quiet waters that soothe your spirit, still waters that calm your mind, peaceful waters that refresh your soul. He refreshes my soul. Like a spring of cool water in a desert, like a gentle breeze on a hot day, like the first deep breath after holding your breath too long, your soul is being refreshed right now, restored, renewed, revived. Feel yourself lying down in those green pastures now. Feel the softness beneath you. Feel the safety around you. Feel the peace flowing through you. You are held. You are loved. You are safe. You can rest. He's watching over you, you know. While you sleep, he keeps guard. While you rest, he stands watch. While you let go of control, he maintains perfect control. You don't have to stay alert because he never sleeps. Psalm 121, 3 and 4. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. He will not let your foot slip. Every step you've taken today, he's been there to steady you. Every moment you felt like you might fall, his hand has been there to catch you. Every time you've stumbled, he's been there to keep you from falling completely. He who watches over you will not slumber. While your body needs rest, his vigilance never wavers. While your mind needs to shut down, his awareness never dims. While you need to sleep, his protection never pauses. Indeed, He who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. This is his nature, his character, his unchanging commitment. He doesn't take breaks from caring for you. He doesn't clock out from loving you. He doesn't go off duty from protecting you. You can close your eyes in complete confidence. You can relax your vigilance entirely. You can release your need to stay alert. He's got this. He's watching. He's caring. He's protecting. You can sleep. There's a song being sung over you right now. A quiet melody of love. A gentle lullaby of peace. Can you hear it? It's the voice of the one who loves you more than you can imagine, and he's singing you to sleep with his love. Zephaniah 3:17. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. The Lord your God is with you, right here, right now, in this moment. Not far away, not distant, not detached, with you, present with you, actively engaged with you, personally invested in you. The mighty warrior who saves. He's fighting battles for you that you don't even know about. He's working solutions you haven't thought of. He's moving mountains you can't see. He's saving you in ways you're not even aware of. He will take great delight in you. Like a parent watching their child take first steps, like an artist admiring their masterpiece, like someone who sees beauty where others see flaws. He delights in you, right now, just as you are. In his love, he will no longer rebuke you. His love has silenced every accusation. His love has answered every criticism. His love has quieted every condemnation. You are safe in his love, secure in his acceptance, at peace in his approval, but will rejoice over you with singing. He's so happy with you that he breaks into song. His joy over you is so great that it must be expressed. His love for you is so overwhelming that it pours out in celebration. Listen, can you hear it? That quiet song of love being sung over you right now. Let it wash over you like gentle waves. Let it surround you like warm light. Let it fill you like sweet peace. You are loved. You are cherished. You are his. Tomorrow will bring new mercies. You know, fresh grace for fresh challenges, new strength for new struggles, sufficient provision for whatever comes. You don't need to figure out tomorrow tonight. You don't need to solve tomorrow's problems with today's strength. Lamentations 3:22 and 23. Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Because of the Lord's great love, immeasurable love, unfailing love, love that's bigger than your biggest fear, love that's stronger than your strongest worry, love that's more reliable than your most persistent anxiety. We are not consumed. The worries that feel like they might overwhelm you will not consume you. The fears that feel like they might destroy you will not devour you. The struggles that feel like they might defeat you will not overcome you. His compassions never fail, never run out, never diminish, never grow weary, never get exhausted, never become impatient, never stop flowing. Fresh compassion for every failure, new mercy for every struggle, renewed grace for every need. They are new every morning. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, there will be fresh mercy waiting for you, new compassion ready to meet you, renewed strength available to you. Today's mercy was enough for today. Tomorrow's mercy will be enough for tomorrow. Great is your faithfulness. Faithfulness that has never failed, faithfulness that has never wavered, faithfulness that has never disappointed, faithfulness you can count on, faithfulness you can rest in, faithfulness you can trust completely, Feel that faithfulness surrounding you now, wrapping around you like the softest blanket, holding you like the strongest arms, keeping you like the most faithful friend. You can let go now. Let go of the need to have all the answers. Let go of the responsibility to control all the outcomes. Let go of the fear about what tomorrow might bring. Let go and rest. You are held, you are loved, you are safe. The God who painted every sunset, who knows every star by name, who controls every breath in your lungs, that same God is watching over you tonight. You can rest now. Rest, rest,